In the first episode, we met Cecilia, a young girl from a humble family. A girl whose examination results did not seem to tell the story. To many people, Cecilia looked like an average student, but there was something they didn't know. Cecilia was actually a very bright girl. The problem was, her brilliance did not always appear where people expected to see it. You see, if you walked into Cecilia's classroom on an ordinary school day, you might have been surprised by what you found. This was not the same Cecilia people saw on her examination results. In class, Cecilia could be very good. When the teacher asked questions, she often knew the answers. When a lesson was being taught, she could follow along. When exercises were given, she could complete them. She participated, she listened, she understood, and sometimes she was one of the students who stood out. Her teachers could see that there was something inside this girl. Her parents could see it too, especially when they looked at her books at home. But there was one subject that had always given Cecilia a little trouble: mathematics. Mathematics. Cecilia and mathematics were not exactly best friends. They knew each other. They met regularly. But their relationship was complicated. Sometimes, the numbers seemed to make perfect sense. And sometimes, they behaved as if they had secretly agreed to confuse her. A question that looked simple to everyone else could suddenly become a serious matter for Cecilia. She would look at it, think about it, look at it again, and perhaps wonder why numbers had decided to make her life unnecessarily difficult. But mathematics was not the whole story. In the other subjects, Cecilia was generally doing well in class. She could answer questions. She could participate in discussions. She could complete exercises. She could understand what the teacher was explaining. Her homework often looked promising. Her classwork could be very good. Everything seemed to suggest that Cecilia was on the right track. And then there were examinations. This was where things became confusing, because when Cecilia sat for examinations, something seemed to change. The girl who could answer questions in class suddenly found herself staring. The girl who could complete exercises at home suddenly struggled to show the same ability on the answer sheet. And the results? Average. Not terrible, not disastrous, but not as good as the promise she showed in class. Not as good as the work her parents saw. It was almost as if there were two Cecilias. There was classroom Cecilia, bright, active, engaged, capable. And then there was examination Cecilia, average, quiet, and somehow unable to show the world everything she knew. Nobody quite understood why, not even Cecilia herself. Perhaps it was the pressure of sitting in an examination room. Perhaps it was the fear of making mistakes. Perhaps she thought too much about getting the answers right and became unsure. Whatever the reason, the result was always the same. Cecilia's examination performance never seemed to match her everyday performance, and this happened across her subjects. Except, of course, mathematics. That one. Well, mathematics was mathematics. Even Cecilia knew that one needed a little extra work. But the other subjects? Those were different. Yet when examination results came out, Cecilia somehow found herself somewhere in the middle. Average, again, and again, and again. It was confusing, especially for her parents. At home, Catherine and Peter would sometimes check Cecilia's books. They would see the work she had completed, and they would feel encouraged. Their daughter was learning. Their daughter was trying. But then, the examination results would come, and suddenly, the picture looked different. Catherine and Peter were not educated people. They had both left school after primary education, but they understood the importance of education. They knew that life had not given them the opportunity to go as far as they might have wished, and they wanted something different for their children. So they worked, and worked, and worked. They were peasants and casual workers. They did whatever work they could find. If there was work, they worked. If there was no work, they waited. And when an opportunity came, they took it. Their lives were not easy, but they were determined to make sure their children did not lack the basics: food, clothes, school supplies. They could not give their children everything, but they could give them what they had. And most importantly, they could give them a chance. Cecilia also understood that her parents were working hard. So at home, she helped in the little ways a child could. She did simple, child-friendly chores. She helped around the house. She assisted when she could. She was still a child, of course. And like every other child, she had moments when, suddenly, the energy disappeared. But she knew her parents were doing their best, and she knew that the family had to work together. There was something else about Cecilia that made her childhood interesting: her relationship with other children. You see, Cecilia was not a child who struggled to interact with people. She could talk to people. She could play with people. Give her a group of children and a game. She would join in. Give her classmates a difficult question. She could participate. Cecilia could connect with almost anyone when it came to playing, learning, or simply having fun. But when it came to close friendship, that was different. Cecilia did not easily let people into her personal world. She could laugh with you. She could play with you. But becoming truly close to her, that was not so easy. And then there was Alexa. Alexa was Cecilia's neighbor. And unlike Cecilia, Alexa went to a different school. Perhaps that was part of what made their friendship special. They did not have to compete over examination results. They simply had each other. They could play. They could talk. They could laugh. They could share their little childhood secrets. And with Alexa, Cecilia seemed to let her guard down. She could be herself. For Cecilia, Alexa was not just another child from the neighborhood. She was a friend, a real friend. The kind of friend who could make an ordinary day feel special. And perhaps Cecilia needed that friendship more than she realized. Because while she was surrounded by people at school, Alexa was the person who knew the Cecilia behind the classroom. As the years went by, Catherine and Peter continued working hard. They wanted their children to have opportunities they themselves had never had, and they believed in her. Even when her examination results did not show everything they saw in her, they knew that there was something inside their daughter, something that the examination papers had not yet managed to capture. For now, nobody had the answer. But there was one thing they could all agree on. Her marks did not tell the whole story. And perhaps, one day, she would learn how to show the world exactly what she was capable of. This was Cecilia, the girl whose marks didn't tell the whole story. And this was only the beginning. Stay tuned for episode 3.